We are living in this amazing time where a Star Wars movie might actually be coming out soon. And I'm not just talking about The Mandalorian and Grogu and the Heir to the Empire film from Dave Filoni, but the Shawn Levy, I'll just say Shawn, movie, the Star Wars movie, looks like it's gearing up and... Hello and welcome to another That's Just Joe video. My name's Joe and that's about it. But that's not about it, because we've got some big news from the Hollywood Reporter saying that Ryan Gosling is in talks to star in Shawn's Star Wars movie. This is quite big. Ryan Gosling is headed to the great galaxy far away. Three-time Oscar nominee is in negotiations to top-line the Star Wars feature project that will be directed by Deadpool and Wolverine filmmaker Shawn. Details on any Star Wars project are harder to acquire than plans for an orbital planet killer, and this one is no exception. Shawn has been developing his Star Wars feature since 2022, and Jonathan Trooper, who collaborated with Shawn on films such as This Is Where I Leave You and The Adam Project, have been working on the script for over a year. Shawn is also producing the feature via his 21 Lamps Better la-di-da-da. So the big thing of this is that Ryan Gosling is in talks to star in this Star Wars movie. It's unclear when the film is set and what story it's going to tell, but one thing we can take away from it is that it's supposedly unconnected to the so-called Skywalker saga, but we might be getting more Skywalker saga films with another director taking over. That's a whole different story. It's going to be a standalone movie. The sources tell the Hollywood Reporter Lucasfilm had no comment on any impending deal or the project's details. Gosling development is a late in the game move for Shawn's movie schedule. The filmmaker was eyeing to direct a boy band movie set up with Paramount, which would have reunited him with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. But Gosling's interest and involvement suddenly shifted to the Star Wars project into hyperspace. It's funny because the article even says Gosling was being eyed in 2013 for a part in Star Wars, and there was rumours going around about him and Zac Efron and all this, but I do like Ryan Reynolds. I haven't seen him in many films. I think he's hilarious in Barbie and is such a good performer. It's completely different from what he's done before. Like The Notebook, that's another film I've seen, being a serious actor and playing a love interest and everything. But he's got that sort of Heath Ledger vibe about him. He doesn't want to just play the heartthrob, basically, and he wants to try new things and everything. And I'm not saying this Star Wars film that Ryan Gosling is supposedly going to be in is going to be at the level of Heath Ledger Joker or anything like that, but I'm just saying he does seem to like doing various different roles and projects. But you can't doubt Ryan Gosling is a good actor. He is a good actor. I mean, in Barbie he was brilliant. I'm really interested to see who's going to play. I can imagine a sort of Han Solo type of character, maybe, kind of like what we've been getting with Jude Law and Skeleton Crew, which I still haven't watched, but I get the concept. Or he could play the villain. We don't know. Or he could be playing an alien. He just voices a character. We don't know really much about this movie. But again, I need to refer to this document made by Culture Crave that was basically the status of upcoming films. We had the Simon Kinberg Star Wars trilogy, which is supposedly episode 10 to 12. The Mandalorian Grogu is definitely happening. It sounds like the new Jedi Order is sort of still happening, but it's still a bit quiet on that front. Dawn of the Jedi, James Mangold's film, does sound like it's happening. Lando isn't happening anymore. Dave Filoni Star Wars movie, again, we haven't heard much movement on that. Taika Waititi Star Wars movie, get that out of here. That's not happening. Shawn's Star Wars movie sounds like it's really happening now with this movement. Rogue Squadron, which is the one I wanted to see. This is the movie I wanted to see. This is the Star Wars movie I wanted to see. It doesn't sound like it's in development anymore. I think they're still spitballing ideas, but yeah. And then obviously the infamous Rian Johnson trilogy. Definitely not happening. But it does sound like Lucasfilm has got their act together. They're going to be making these Star Wars movies, and they have The Mandalorian and Grogu already shot and filmed and everything, and they're currently editing that. That doesn't come out for another, I think it's another year or two. So we still got a long wait for that, considering we're not even getting season 4. I think The Mandalorian and Grogu wraps up the Mando story, which is a shame because it's a show I've really enjoyed, apart from season 3. But yeah, it's a shame that's wrapping up already. But hearing Ryan Gosling is being eyed, this is the closest we've come to like casting in these Star Wars films that have been announced and then never moved forward. So it does sound like Shawn has a really great idea and Lucasfilm really want to do it, and they're already eyeing stars for roles and everything. But I'm really interested to see what this year brings for Star Wars, not just in terms of releases. We've obviously got Andor Season 2, the last Disney Plus show from the Star Wars universe. And then I think we're going to be hearing way more news, especially at Star Wars Celebration this year. Thank God I'm not going. In Japan, where I think a lot of these announcements are going to take place. Again, announcements don't really matter. I've kind of given up with people announcing projects, even if it's at like Comic-Con or anything, because they don't seem to move anywhere sometimes. But you know, Star Wars has just been a tricky one. It's been a really tricky one to kind of get on board with something being announced and get excited, because they just keep cancelling stuff. And they still think, I thought, Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron movie was a bad idea. I think the only reason they dropped it is because Wonder Woman 84 didn't perform well or was very, received well. Like, why would you not do a Rogue Squadron movie? And you could have possibly released it alongside Top Gun Maverick, when everyone was going to see that movie, not just for Tom Cruise, not for the story, but for planes. Can you imagine going to see a film just for X-Wings? This is an interesting bit of news. This is a bit of movement in that space. I'm really expecting to be doing more Star Wars content this year, as well as DC and Marvel and so on, because I think we're going to hear a lot of things. But again, I'm keeping my cards close to the chest, to my chest, to my chest, and I'm not holding out hope and going, yes, this is definitely happening. But this is an interesting development. It really is, because it sounds like it's happening. Not for sure, but it's happening. Anyway, what do you think of this news? Are you excited? Are you not excited? Do you think Ryan Gosling joining the Star Wars universe is a good idea, or is it a bad idea? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure you like the video. It really helps me out. Subscribe to the channel, and may the Force be with you. I'm going to turn this off because it's so loud. Bye.